What's up, watch people? Welcome to another edition of Tony's Timepiece Review, and I am Tony. Today I am wearing, today the video is also about the Tudor Black Bay 58 that I purchased December 23rd initially. When I say initially is because the one that I purchased on December 23rd was defective, which was highly unfortunate and just the circumstance. If you watched the video of when I initially got this watch and when it was broken and the whole scenario of everything, but it was resolved and I love this watch. So I just wanted to talk about, I've had this watch now for just a little over a month and it is my everyday watch. Through all the watches that I have, the watches that I've had, you go through a honeymoon period and then you put them away and you wear them periodically. You may wear them every day and you still have your favorites. I have a lot of watches. I have a lot of watches that at one point I loved and no longer wear at all, and just kind of outgrew them, or they're just not my style anymore. But the Tudor Black Bay, as of right now, has been my favorite watch. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you a little bit more about it. I'll just take it off real quick. So it has the sort of clam style buckle there, and then deployant sort of folding. The beautiful thing is, well, I say the beautiful thing, there's a lot of beautiful things about this watch. 316L stainless steel, in-house movement. Not going to go into all those details because there's plenty of videos out there and I think I did them before. I do love the raised sapphire crystal, the Tudor rose signed on the crown, 316L steel, 200 meters water resistance. And the cool thing about this watch is that it's one of the most, well, it's pretty much the most comfortable watch that I own and that I've been wearing. I don't even know what's on there. I mean, it's there. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, there you are. Okay. So, the cool thing is we all know that Tudor is Rolex's little brother or little sister, depending on how you want to look at it. And that's how closely related they are. They're pretty much they're made in the same factory. And if this were a Rolex, then it would have 904 steel as opposed to 316L steel. The hands would be solid gold, white gold. The bezel would most likely be ceramic. Now, I bought this watch because I just love the aesthetics of it, and I'd never owned a Tudor before. I don't own a Submariner, simply because I'm not really a big Submariner fan. However, I do like the vintage Submariners. I'm not a big vintage watch fan either, but I do like some vintage watches, and one of the vintage watches that I really do like is the Submariner vintage 5112, 5113, late 60s, early 70s models. And I think if I had one of those, I would just never wear it. I would wear it periodically and then I'd put it back in the box because I wouldn't want to damage it or if anything happens to it. I look at Tudor as, or this particular watch, as a brand new old Rolex, in a sense, like a old Submariner. This has the aesthetics, the appearance that the old vintage Submariners had, except it has its own thing going for it. It has the same DNA, they're related. So I can just wear this every day and not worry about banging it around. When I say banging it around, when I call watches beater watches, I just use that term as everyday watches, that if I did hit it against something, it wouldn't really bother me. If I was wearing my Cartier Santos or my Rolex and I hit it against something and scratched it, I'd be pretty upset about it, So, but in this case, this is what this watch is. It serves its purpose. It's everything that I want in a daily watch. I don't care about having a date function. I can't see them anyway because I'm reading glasses or whatever. So I don't really care about that. I care about the time, and I care about watches being accurate. And the coolest thing about this thing is when I got this one, after I took the other one back and I got this one, they put it on the machine that tests the plus minus seconds per day. Rolex, being a superlative chronometer, is +2, -2 seconds a day, which is outstanding. It's just about the best you can get. Superlative chronometer, as opposed to a chronometer, is the way that they test the watch and the different positions they test the watch. And with this is a chronometer, certified watch, which means it has to be within a certain +2 or +- seconds per day. I have some watches that that gain too much time, and you know, stuff like that just bothers me. I don't want to have to keep resetting my watch because I'm really meticulous about that. This watch now I've had it over a month, and I have only within over that month only had to pull the crown out one time to stop it for a second, then push it back in because it was a couple seconds fast. But that was over the period of time of a month. So anyway, when they tested this one, it came back as +1 -1 second per day, which is insane. That's better than the Rolex. So I don't know if I just lucked out or if that's just all of the Tudor Black Bays, all the Tudor models with their in-house movement. The MT, actually, the reference number is escaping me right now. Certain people don't like this watch for some reason, in the sense, they don't like the watch, but some of the watch reviews I've seen, it's like they complain about these rivets on the side of the watch. They don't serve any purpose, just like the old Submariners had the rivets, you know, and they're like, oh, I just don't like these rivets. I don't know. I mean, it's like, I mean, why did they have to put them there? And it's like, why'd you buy the watch if you didn't like the rivets, dude? It's so what? You can't even see them when you're wearing the watch. It's not even doesn't have any, whatever, you know. Some people that complain about the snowflake hand as opposed to the Mercedes hand right there, right there. Because that's not what this watch comes with. It comes with the Tudor snowflake hand. That's what it is. Rolex Submariners had the Mercedes hands. So, you know, so I guess to me, it seems like the people that are complaining about that just make this are kind of snobby, like, oh, I just don't like the snowflake hand. It's just does no, really just kind of says to me, well, why don't you buy a Submariner if that's your issue? Or why did you buy the watch in the first place if you don't like it? I get it, buying a watch and then having certain things you don't like about it. But for the most part, you know, if I buy a watch and then all of a sudden, I mean, we're talking about aesthetics here. You know, I don't like the fact that it's not a ceramic bezel. Well, why did you buy the watch then? You know, so for me, certain things that if I buy a watch and then later don't like it, it's not because of the aesthetics. It's because of one, it could be it's running way too fast or it's running too slow and I constantly have to set the time, or power reserve sucks, or the fact that it doesn't sit properly on the wrist, because that happens with watches, especially with leather straps, where the watch will sit off to an angle on my wrist, and no matter what you do, it's really annoying constantly having to adjust it. Or watches that may dig into your wrist somewhere, and that kind of bothers you. You're like, don't like it. Or the fact that the bracelet may pull your arm hair if you have arm hair, you know, things like that. Those would be what I would call legit reasons of what your pet peeves are about a watch. In the case that, you know, it's something aesthetic like a hand or the rivets, then don't buy the watch. Simple as that. You don't have to buy it, you know. Anyway, this is the best watch that I own at this point in time, I think, as far as my everyday watch. Power reserve, 70 hours. I did have it off for a couple days one day because I haven't really fully tested the power reserve on it, because when I had my Cartier, the Santos I bought, I wore that for a couple days and then I went straight back to my Tudor. I mean, I still wear all my other watches too, but this is my primary every single day watch. I have no problems just wearing it and not thinking about it, and I love it. So having said that, that's my review update on my Tudor Black Bay 58. If you like this video, I really hope you like it, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. My channel has gotten more subscribers, which I appreciate, and more viewers. However, I'm still a really small channel. I don't understand it. You know, I'm pretty straightforward and honest about what I do. I don't have any ulterior motives trying to sell watches or anything. But either way, it's up to you guys. So I do appreciate the comments and I do appreciate the views. Thank you. Have a good day.